let's go out to Auburn. Auburn Tigers, they were all the rage after week 1. Their recruiting was through the roof. They couldn't miss. And a little hiccup this week. Auburn loses to Cal at home 21-14. There's some big-time recruits on campus. Steve, do you think that the loss put a damper on Auburn's weekend?
I don't. I talked to someone on campus after the ball game that said that recruits that were there got a chance to see how much they were needed. They turned the ball over.
Yeah. Hey, you can sell it.
They turned the ball over 4 times today. I think that this is Hugh Freeze is at Auburn because the previous coaching staff wasn't getting it done. It's not like he inherited a double-digit win program. He's made Auburn very competitive very quickly since he's there with the roster that he inherited. They've done a good job on the recruiting trail. There's a lot of young talent on that football team. Top 10 recruiting class last year, but it's going to take some time, but they're doing it the old school way of grassroots recruiting. They'll hit some guys from the portal, but there's a lot of emphasis on this recruiting class coming in and helping with the trajectory of the program. And I think the guys on campus like Deuce Knight really saw, and I think Deuce Knight saw an opportunity for him to get on the field as a true freshman and be very competitive with Peyton Thorne throwing 4 interceptions today. And they really not having another guy that they could turn to that they feel that confident in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're recruiting Deuce Knight and you're trying to flip him from Notre Dame, it doesn't hurt when I guess it doesn't hurt in recruiting when your quarterback throws 4 picks. I know that's hard to say because it definitely hurts. A win would have been better for Auburn recruiting than a loss, but recruiters are great at selling, and I guess that's how you sell it. Steve, do you still predict a Deuce Knight flip? I know it might not be this weekend. It might not be tonight. It might not be tomorrow, but are you still in that range that, yeah, I feel Deuce Knight's going to flip?
I felt like talking to several people that we were finally getting close to it actually happening. I still think it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm still there, but we'll see.
Okay. I know.
Again, conversations remain status quo with Notre Dame. And look, there were a lot of dates that were saying that he was going to commit to Auburn on this date, and this date. And the more recent one, I was kind of feeling a little bit based on the conversations I was having. But he always told Notre Dame he wasn't going to be in a rush to make a decision. He was going to go into the fall. And that's exactly what's happened. So Ole Miss hanging around in that recruitment as well. But all the intel, or most of the intel, I think everyone thinks he's going to go to Auburn. It's just a matter of, is the door open for someone to change that narrative? I still like where Auburn stands, and they're still in the conversation for the nation's #1 recruiting class.
All right. Speaking of Ole Miss, running back commitment, Shakai Mills-Knight, who's committed to Ole Miss, visited Auburn this weekend. With Usman Kroma visiting Georgia, we know Usman Kroma is a top target for Auburn, but where does Shakai Mills-Knight fit in?
Well, Shakai told me he loves the culture at Auburn, and the week he committed to Ole Miss, Auburn did give him a lot to think about. He told me today that he loves the culture, but he was there with some of his teammates to help put them on, and he's still locked in with Ole Miss.
All right, so we'll see there. Now, Sam Turner, Georgia Tech wide receiver commit. Sam Turner's kind of a hot name. He's being recruited by not only Auburn, but also Georgia. Georgia's trying to flip him as well from Georgia Tech, and he had some quotes at Auburn Live. He said, "I'm at a loss for words right now. It was hard seeing that the quarterback at least pull him out. It's early in the season. Mistakes happen. They can shake it off." When asked if it plays a factor in his recruiting, Turner was honest. He said, "It does play a factor because the quarterback has to get me the ball, but he's a senior. So if Deuce Knight comes, that'd make a difference." So
there's a lot of positive momentum around Sam Turner in Auburn right now. So
even though, coming out of that one, but he's buddy. Look, I mean, whatever's happening on the field right now, Sam Turner's not going to be a part of that.
Exactly right. Look, and they're recruiting guys like Sam Turner to change that around. And Auburn loves him. They're treating him like a top of the board target. He's not as household a name as some of these other Auburn names that we've been talking about, the Deuce Knights and the Naeem Offords of the world. But inside that Auburn football facility, they love this young man. He's a top of the board guy that they would love to add. They recruited arguably the best receiver class in the country last year. They think he has the talent to come in and push those guys play alongside those guys, this new standard that they're trying to recruit that position to, they feel like he checks that box. Also, look, I know Auburn lost their game today, but Georgia Tech went up to New York today and lost to Syracuse as well. So look, we'll see. I think Auburn's in the middle of this recruitment. Obviously, he visited, and what I say a lot, we'll see what happens.
So we talked a lot about Auburn all week in terms of not just you. I had Philip Dukes on. He felt like Auburn's going to land the number 1 class in America. But, at some point, I know you said that the loss against Cal, they're still really trending. But at some point, Steve, do wins matter? Like, if they're going to take the number 1 class, do they have to win football games?
I think they need to continue to show that they're competitive. We talked about this on Whip Around on Thursday. They just need to show that this program is on this right trajectory. And they did that in the Iron Bowl last year. They didn't win, but they gave Alabama hell, and Alabama needed to pull something right out of their ass to win that ball game. So yeah. They're right there. They just need to keep playing like that. Be an exciting football team. Be fun to watch, be an engaging coaching staff, because again, this roster isn't where they want it right now, but they're competing. They didn't win today, but 4 turnovers, 4 interceptions. Salute to Cal. They made plays, but the 4 turnovers were a backbreaker today. But be in these ball games, keep playing hard, have a good culture where the players on the team love being in the program. I think that Auburn has all those things going for them right now, so they can push for the number 1 class. But my vote's still with Georgia. I still think Georgia's going to finish with the number 1 class right now.
All right, Steve. Let's talk to Auburn fans right now. Let us know. Do you think that winning matters? I mean, if Auburn's going to pull the number 1 class in America, do wins matter on the recruiting trail or not? Let us know. Comment section below.